As the MTV Video Music Awards celebrated 40 years of music, they also celebrated 40 years of fashion with some of the most iconic outfits, including many showstoppers that have been seen over the years. Now this year, no exception. There were lots of incredible looks that graced the black carpet. And joining us to talk all things fashion at this year's award is Alana, our editor of Page Six Style. Now, let's start things off with Taylor Swift because I know how much you love her. What did you think of her punk plaid outfit?
So she definitely went for a vibe shift, possibly an era shift, who's to say. So she showed up in this plaid sort of punk look from Dior's Resort 2025 collection, which was inspired by Scotland. It was very much a style swerve for her, and it proved pretty polarizing on social media. So it was sort of this taffeta checked bustier with a skirt attached, and then she wore it with these sort of black velvet hot pants and strappy leather opera gloves that were also Dior. I saw a lot of mixed reactions on my feed. I, as a Swiftie, have to say I appreciated the risk from her. I thought her glam, first of all, was super on point. Face card never declines. But also, I just appreciated that it was a little out of her wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. Like, she was trying something different. I did, however, start clowning, and I was so sure, because of how reputation coded this look was, I mean, I joined the masses who were like, she's definitely announcing Rep Taylor's version on stage when she accepts an award. That did not end up happening.
It did not. She announced something else instead.
Something else instead, her love for Trav, which we all know about.
That one person was my boyfriend, Travis. Everything this man touches turns to happiness and fun and magic, so I want to thank him for adding that to our shoot.
But, so I felt like it was a little bit of a tease, maybe in a playful way. She might be clowning us right back, you know, like, you know, a little bit of a got you moment. But overall, yeah, I mean, she looked great. It was a risk, and I appreciated it.
And then she also did a little outfit change in the middle. She wore this sparkling UFO dress, which
so
she went into after winning the award.
Yeah, so that was custom Monse. It was using a sort of UFO in the countryside print that they showed recently. And they custom sort of bejeweled it, shall I say, for the occasion. But Swifties quickly picked up on the fact that it was very down bad coded, which is kind of like her using the metaphor of being beamed up by a spaceship to being sort of love bombed by a suitor. So I think we clocked that immediately, and that looked great on her. I really liked the Monse look.
I love that one too. That one was actually my favorite of her too. Now on to Halsey, who was rocking the leopard-print Versace dress, which was previously worn by Elizabeth Hurley back in 1996.
Yes.
Talk about vintage.
This was an excellent pull. She said on the carpet that this was like impossible to find. It had been worn by Liz Hurley in 1996 and not since then. I thought it fit her perfectly, and I really loved that it matched her sort of scarlet hair that she had going on. It just felt like a very cohesive look. It was a loud print, but a sleek silhouette, so that kind of tempered it. I thought she looked amazing. This was one of my favorite looks of hers in a while.
I loved it too, and it just shows that leopard never goes out of style.
True. It's a neutral. Leopard's a neutral.
It is. Now, Chapel Rowan's outfit kind of gave me like goth, medieval type of vibes.
Very medieval. So this was, believe it or not, she's had such a big year. This was Chapel's first VMAs. And she certainly stood out on the carpet in a look that was very true to her aesthetic, which is sort of campy, over the top, really playful. She was wearing a Y Project sort of diaphanous gown. And then on top, she had a mint green velvet cape cloak. And she had these chainmail gloves, a little clutch to match, an armored razor sharp manicure. And
I don't know how she managed with that.
I think she had a lot of helpers with like bathroom breaks and so on, getting zipped and unzipped. And then she accessorized with a sword, as one does, but hit all the right notes for me. I thought she looked really beautiful. Again, the glam was gorgeous, and her performance was killer. I'm a huge Chapel fan.
Yeah, her performance was great. And then she did do a change later on, took off those manicured nails, had that whole like glittery type of ensemble on.
It's Rabanne, yeah. So Rabanne is known for these sort of chainmail, sort of space age futuristic looks. It read with the headpiece, the matching headpiece, very also medieval. And so it felt very cohesive with the first look, but yeah, she always knocks it out of the park.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe. Now, Sabrina Carpenter, stunned in her dress. It was the same gown that Madonna wore back at the Oscars in 1991.
Yeah, so, I mean, talk about, I said with Halsey, talk about an incredible pull. This was just like next level. She was having a Madonna moment. This dress is vintage Bob Mackie, and her stylist Jared Elner pulled it from Tad Vintage, which is sort of like an, if you know, you know, very cool vintage source for these sort of celebrities and fashion insiders. I thought it was gorgeous. The beadwork, I mean, what's amazing about this dress is when she first hit the carpet, I thought it might be current season because it is so timeless. Like, this could have walked down a runway today. But it fit her like a glove. The tailoring was beautifully done. And she sort of leaned into the whole diamonds are a girl's best friend of it all, because the original Bob Mackie design was inspired by Marilyn Monroe and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. So diamonds are a girl's best friend. She was dripping in these De Beers jewels to kind of top everything off. She had the sort of old Hollywood blonde curls going, the glossy red lip. She was definitely, I mean, I think best dressed of the night.
She's always so picture perfect. Can't go wrong with Sabrina.
Beautiful.
Lisa, who's from Blackpink, custom hooded creation. You got to tell us about that one. It was pretty sleek and cool.
Yeah. So she was in Mugler, custom Mugler. It had built-in gloves. It had a corseted bodice and this sort of hood on top. And I'm biased as someone who has bangs, but I thought it looked especially great with like the veil and the thick blunt cut bangs. It fit her perfectly. Fit is just like key to making these red carpet looks sing. And yeah, I thought she looked amazing. It was kind of like the perfect mix for me of elegant and eccentric.
I liked it. Personally, some of my favorites, I loved Meg Thee Stallion when she came out on stage, because she did like a little Britney Spears tribute in one of her outfits.
Yeah.
With the snake wrapped
around. One of her
around.
many hosting looks.
Yes,
she changed. She said she was like, I'm so excited to change 500 times. I think it was more like 7, but she gave us a lot of looks.
She did give us a lot, and the look was from Britney in 2001.
Yeah.
I'm a Slave for You with the snake, and she actually had the real snake on. Did you see her freak out over that?
That is commitment. A live reptile on live television.
Absolutely, which you never know what could potentially happen. Also, Tate McRae, she also channeled Britney a little bit as well, wearing another 2001 black lace dress.
She sure did. So back in 2001 at the VMAs, Britney wore this very iconic sheer black lace Dolce & Gabbana dress over a black bra and briefs, and Tate McRae has sort of been campaigning, or at least her fans have been campaigning for her to play Britney in the upcoming biopic. She certainly has the dance moves down. So she did Britney circa 2001 in this modern day black lace Roberto Cavalli look. If I had to nitpick, I mean, she looks amazing. Her body's incredible. I would have preferred to see her with like a black brief a la the Britney original rather than the thong that she actually wore.
She's trying to sexify it up.
She sexified it up. But I mean, yeah, it was a very fun look for sure.
It absolutely was. Well, of course, you could always check out all of the best dressed over at page6.com. Thank you so much, Alana.
Of course, thanks for having me.